So I stumbled across the episode of Club Random where Bill Maher had Sam Harris as his guest. And I stopped and watched it because I do that anytime I see Sam Harris is on any show or podcast. I always stop and listen to what he has to say. I've read several of Sam Harris's books. I've listened to his podcast for a long time. And what I like about his podcast is it's just, smart people talking, and I enjoy hearing smart people talk. That doesn't mean that I agree with Sam Harris on every single issue. I don't. There's things about him that I totally disagree with. There's stances he's made in the past that I completely disagree with, but I do enjoy hearing his takes nonetheless. So I will always stop and at least, give him the benefit of the doubt and hear him out. And so I did. And the part of the interview that really leaped off the page at me was when he got to talking about Elon Musk and how that he once upon a time was friends with Elon. And he says he tries to point out to Elon today how that these MAGA trolls are playing him. All these people that believed in things like Pizzagate, they're playing him. And he tries to point that out to Elon. And when he does, Elon simply replies with, "Go fuck yourself." That's the response that he gives to a former friend. He doesn't hear them out. He doesn't take into consideration what they're saying at all. It's just simply "go fuck yourself," which has absolutely been his whole demeanor since the election. And I mean, it was starting way before that. But since the election, now he feels so empowered to just come right out and call Trump supporters the R word, come right out and say they have no sense, they don't understand anything. He has talked and mocked them so bad. I get that part. But to mock his own friends and to not even hear them out, that one kind of stopped me in my tracks and really got me to thinking about Elon even more. And I'm pretty sure that I can't use the clip from Club Random because I'm sure Bill Maher owns the copyrights on that. And again, I don't want to go through the headache of having to take the video down and put it back up. But I did find a clip where Sam Harris was on the Bulwark pretty much saying the same thing. So shout out to them. And I'm going to play you a snippet here from the interview where he explains how Elon has changed over the years and what he's become. This is really interesting. Take a look.
Now, and in his case, perhaps more conspicuously than any other, we're seeing the total derangement of a personality based on social media addiction. I mean, that is in fact what you see with Elon. He is a Twitter addict, so much so that he felt he needed to buy the platform. And now he has this free speech evangelist gloss on what he's up to, but really what he's up to is, snorting ketamine and tweeting at all hours of the day and night, right? And that this is his influence on our politics. That it's
Seems like there's a lot of ketamine in the White House. I keep hearing about ketamine.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, one hopes he's mitigated it of late, but it's. I mean, his behavior on Twitter is obviously, palpably, visibly deranged, right? I mean, so he signal boosts Pizzagate lunatics, knowing who they are. He knows who they are because I and others have told him who they are, and yet he has absolutely no compunction about. He thinks he's doing a service to humanity by boosting to 200 million followers obvious lies and conspiracy theories and making some of the most odious online trolls even more famous, and meanwhile, just declaring war on actually normal people who, for whatever reason, he's gotten on the wrong side of.
So yeah, he did not hold back at all, and I can so see why that Elon would say what he said to Sam Harris, because that one had to sting. To be honest with you, that would have to sting if you're Elon, hearing that coming from the likes of a Sam Harris, because that's not some MAGA troll on Twitter. That's Sam Harris who Elon and Joe Rogan and all these people realizes what a smart dude that he is, and they want to be in that league, but they're not. And he brilliantly points it out there and just pins it down. And like I said, I've not always agreed with Sam Harris on everything. There's a lot of things. That's one guy who I would love to sit and pick his brain because there's things I don't agree with him on, and I would love to hear him elaborate further. So I'm not going to sit here and try to put words into his mouth with what he was saying with that. I'm just simply pointing out that that's someone who Elon used to call a friend, saying, hey, we've been trying to tell him what's going on here. We've been trying to tell him what's happening, and he's just becoming deranged. And I think, to me, that's what reasonable people do. Even if it is your friends, you look over at your friend and you go, you know what? I used to think they were a reasonable person, but now they're acting like a madman. I have people I went to school with. I have people I used to play music with. I have people that used to come out to my shows and have beers with me all the time. People I considered friends who I have lost tons of respect for because I have seen what they would put out into the world. And I can say, hey, you know what? Once upon a time, they were my friend. But I have to say that's insanity. Now, they may turn around and say, go F yourself, Brando, and a lot of them have. But I'm not going to sit back and give my friends a pass just because they're my friend. If I see somebody that I've written songs with or played on stage with for years just going down some rabbit hole of saying a bunch of bullshit conspiracy theories, I'm not going to call it out for anything other than just that. Hey, buddy, sorry, you're spreading a bunch of batshit things and you're acting deranged. You're typing in all caps. So I really believe that that's what friends should do. They should hold each other accountable. But I can so see how that Elon would never be able to take criticism like that, because I really believe, and this is up for debate. You guys let me know in the comment section, who has the weaker ego? Maybe I'll do a poll here on YouTube. Who has the weaker ego? Is it Trump or is it Musk? Who's the more fragile of the two? I think they're both extremely fragile. And I think rich dudes like this that crave power, deep down underneath all that, they are fragile. That's why they look around the world and they admire these dictators. They admire people that goes out there and strong arms things, because they don't have the intellectual capacity to sit down and actually work out something in a reasonable way. They don't have that ability. The only thing they can do is act on their emotions, and then they prey upon people's emotions and win everybody over. And the whole base is just built on emotion and not facts and not evidence and not a voice of reason. So I really found that clip to be interesting, and I really did enjoy hearing Sam Harris roast Elon, which I don't necessarily view that as a roast as much as it just was someone telling the truth about an old friend. And we've all seen people that have went off the rails like Elon. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could probably find a clip of Elon from years ago where he may be saying something I would agree with. There's a lot of people that you could show me clips from 10 or 15 years ago that I'd say, yeah, I used to listen to that person all the time. But you can't when they go down into those rabbit holes. You have to call it out for what it is. And if you can't do that, then it is cultish behavior. It just is. We have to call each other out, and I really feel that. But I truly do appreciate y'all for supporting me here on the channel. We're continuing to grow, continuing to build. We've hit over 515 or 17,000 last time I looked. It's growing so fast I can't even keep up with it. But I truly do appreciate all of you, and I try to read the comments as much as I can, but I try not to dwell on them, because I don't want to be just constantly arguing with people in the comment section. I want to put what I say out into the world, and you're free to agree or disagree with it. And if you disagree, you're free to tell me why, and we'll talk it out and work it out. I'm sure some of you aren't fans of Elon Musk. I know most of you aren't. Some of you may not be fans of Sam Harris. Some of you I know aren't fans of Bill Maher. But we hear out what people are saying, and we make the best of it, and we try to make sense of it all. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. And by the way, this is a Sturgill Simpson shirt that I'm wearing, the country singer Sturgill Simpson. I know people's going to ask me about that. I get asked about my shirts and pictures on the wall all the time. This one has a big profanity on it down here, so that's why I've kind of been setting the way I've been setting. But yeah, Sturgill Simpson's got some great music. Go check it out. He's very diverse, one of my favorite artists. I love the meta-modern sounds of country and western, I believe it is. And then the bluegrass albums that he did, those are great. But anyway, yeah, I love his music. Check it out. And let me know what you think. I mean, have you had to ever call out a friend the way that Sam did Elon just now? Because I think we're going to have to do that a lot more in the future.